Mashburn again. So we're going to continue with our muscle labs, and today we're going to talk about the muscles of the cranium, the face, and the neck. So I'm just going to go straight down your list that I put in your blackboard. It's just the exact same list that the students at Calhoun have. I'm just going to go straight down this list and go through each muscle. I'm going to use a mixture of pictures and models to show you these muscles. This is a picture from your textbook. It's got the picture of the head. Seems difficult for today. Okay, got my pen. Alright, and so we're going to basically isolate these muscles and show you what you need to know. So the first one, you have the occipitalis. And then you have the frontalis. So the occipitalis is this muscle here, and this is the frontalis, okay? And they're named how? Location. Occipital bone, frontal bone. They're based on their location. Now remember, you've got another location, so you should be able to find them on a model or a picture, know their name, and know their action. The occipitalis pulls the scalp backwards. Okay, so if you look at these fibers, okay, what you need to know, it's not listed in your lab guide, but the origin is here on the occipital bone. The insertion is here on this piece of connective tissue. Connective tissue, and this is called the epicranial aponeurosis. So remember, your origin doesn't move, your insertion moves, right? So these fibers contract, it's going to pull your scalp backwards. Alright? On your frontalis, the origin is here on this aponeurosis. The insertion is here right above your eyebrows. So when these muscles contract, it lifts your eyebrows. So the action of this one is to elevate your brows. Now, in some books, these muscles are given one name, and so you may see it's in the little box on your text in your lab guide. Sometimes it's called the epicranius or occipitofrontalis. That just means the book is basically making this be one big muscle that works together with a piece of connective tissue in between it. For my test, learn it as two muscles, the occipitalis and the frontalis, okay? That way, but if you ever see those other two words, you'll know where that comes from. So basically, these are synergists. These muscles work together because they're connected by the epicranial aponeurosis. Now, the next muscle is the temporalis, which is here. And the temporalis, the origin is on the temporal bone up here, and the insertion is on the mandible. So it comes way down here and it's on the mandible. So look at these fibers. When those contract, it's going to raise the mandible. So it's going to help you close your mouth, okay? So it's going to help you raise your mandible. So it helps in chewing. Also, if you contract this, it will pull your ears up. So you can, I can do it. You can wiggle your ears using your temporalis muscle. The next muscle is your masseter, and it's this muscle right here. Kind of follows along the ramus of the mandible. And its action is to chew or masticate, so it's based on an action name, masseter, masticate, to chew. And what it does, is, again, is it elevates the mandible. So, you have two muscles, the temporalis and the masseter. They both elevate the jaw. That means they're synergists. They work together. Now, in this case, the prime mover is the masseter. It does most of the work. It's the prime mover in that action of closing the jaw. The next muscle is the one more thing. Remember, there's a joint between here. So you have your temporalis and your masseter, or your temporal bone and your mandibular bone. This is the TMJ, or temporomandibular joint. So that joint that pops and clicks on some people, that's your TMJ that is popping and clicking. Your next muscle is the zygomaticus, and it is these little muscles. Let's see, let me go to this next picture a little better. Come to the corners of the mouth. So here and here, little zygomaticus here. Basically, it's got two little Y's that come out, and they attach to around the mouth. This little muscle here, they're going to attach right there. And what it does, when these muscles contract, it lifts the corners of your mouth. It allows you to smile. So the location is the corners of the mouth, and the action is to smile. All right, your next muscle is the buccinator, and the buccinator, let's see if I've got a good picture. Yeah, the buccinator, hang on. Some models show these things better than others. The buccinator is a muscle, it's inside your cheek. When you do that, you're blowing out the buccinator. So if you could remove these muscles, it's the muscle up underneath, so it's deep to the zygomaticus. So it's basically, they've removed the zygomaticus with this muscle here, the buccinator. And it's the one you can blow out with your cheek, the fleshy part of your cheek between the mandible and the maxilla. So when it contracts, it will basically, you can blow out your cheeks. Its job, basically, is to keep food between your teeth. So when you're eating, your buccinator is constantly pushing that food back between your teeth. And it's named based on its location. That's the buccal cavity. The cavity between the teeth and your cheeks is the buccal cavity. So buccinator is named based on its location. The next muscle is called the orbicularis oculi. So orbicularis, whenever you see the word orbicularis, that means it's basically a round muscle, sphincter muscle, or oculi means eye or ocular cavity. So the orbicularis oculi is the muscle around the eye, and so when it contracts, it basically closes, or it closes around your eye, and you can wink or blink, close your eyelids. And its main function is to blink. But that also, your tear glands are up here, and so when you have tears running over your eyes, they're going to want to drain to that nasolacrimal duct that you saw on the bones. Your sphincter muscle, your orbicularis oculi, is going to basically push those tears towards your tear duct so that it keeps your eye washed off. The next one is your orbicularis oris. So your orbicularis oris is oral around your mouth. So orbicularis meaning sphincter, oris mouth. So based on shape of the shape, orbicularis oris mouth. Allows you to pucker. When it contracts, you pucker like when you're going to kiss. Your next muscle is your nasalis, and it's this muscle that goes right across the top of your nose, and that's its location. It's named based on location. It's on your nose, and what it does when it contracts, it allows you to flare your nostrils. Can you see me do that? Allows you to flare your nostrils out. It's not a sneer. That's a different muscle. That's this muscle right here. We're not talking about that one. So it's not the sneer. It's like twitching your nose like a rabbit. That's your nasalis muscle. So let's kind of look back before I go on. Here's your orbicularis oculi here and here. Here's your temporalis muscle, your occipitalis, your frontalis. Here is your masseter right here. You have your orbicularis oris here. You have your frontalis here. I just want you to make sure you can recognize it on different models, different pictures, so that you know what I'm talking about on the exam. And then your next muscle is called the sternocleidomastoideus. And let's see which one has the best picture of that. Probably this one. Okay. So sternocleidomastoideus. So that means it's named on its attachment points. It's on the sternum, the clavicle, and the mastoid process. And this is this muscle that kind of comes, this one right here. Let me see, I have a better picture of that. You can see it here. You can see it coming through here, and it's going to be attaching here and here. I have one more picture, hang on. I'm moving forward, hang on, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, here we go. And you can see it come through and attach to the sternum and the clavicle here. So it's a long muscle. So if you kind of do like this, turn your head, this long muscle here, that's the sternocleidomastoideus. So, go back, sorry. Trying to find the best picture of it. Oops, there's one. You can also see it coming. Well, no, I don't like that one either. Sorry, I don't have a good picture of that one. I'll stick one in here. I'll put one into your shelf. This is the best one. Sorry. So there's your sternocleidomastoideus right here. Some models that have one side is taken off and cut away on the other side. So I'm trying to find the best one. All right. And the last muscle is the platysma. Oh, I forgot something about the sternocleidomastoideus. This is one you've got to know the origin and the insertion. So the origin, you have two heads, and the origin's on the sternum and the clavicle. The insertion's on the mastoid process. So think about it. The origin here doesn't move. The insertion moves. If this contracts, it pulls your head down into the side. If they work together, it pulls your head straight down. Okay, so think about where the origin is, down here, not moving. Insertion here, moving, pulls your head down. It can also help you breathe. If you'll notice, it says elevates the sternum with a forceful inhalation. If you will put your hands right here on the sternocleidomastoid, which kind of find your mastoid process and come down and feel those muscles, and or put your hands on your clavicles. Take a deep breath. When you take a deeper breath, you'll feel your neck muscles bulge out. And what's happening is it's pulling your sternocleidomastoid, is pulling your chest out a little bit. That's opening up your rib cage, allowing you to get more air in. So if you're trying to take a deep breath, your sternocleidomastoid will help you take that deeper breath. All right, and then the last muscle is your platysma, and I have a picture of that here. And this is the platysma, and this is the broad, flat muscle. And on most models, it's cut away. That's why I like this particular picture. You can actually see the platysma. And think about guys who are shaving. It's just long, flat muscle underneath your chin. Okay, so that's the platysma. And on a lot of models, it's taken off, but we can see it here on us. And guys, when you're shaving, you usually kind of stretch out your platysma so you don't cut yourself. The platysma, the origin, and is on your sternum and clavicle, so it's down here. And the insertions are actually up here around your on your chin. So when it contracts, it makes you frown. And that's the platysma. So if the platysma makes you frown and the zygomaticus makes you smile, then that means they are antagonists. Alright, so that is all the muscles of the head. So we're going to move on in my next video and do the muscles of the trunk. So again, just take a minute to look at each one of the model pictures I've shown you and try to find some of those models. For example, here you can see the temporalis, you can see the frontalis, orbicularis oculi, orbicularis oris, you can see the masseter, because I can use any one of these model pictures for your exam. So like I said, just go back, temporalis, frontalis, orbicularis, oculi, occipitalis, and see if you can find these muscles on each one of these model pictures. If you have any questions, email me, let me know. And you've got your review activities inside of Blackboard for you to review these as well. If you haven't gone to, one more thing before I forget, this picture is from biodigitalhuman.com. If you download Chrome or Firefox, go to Google, type in biodigitalhuman.com. It's a free 3D anatomy website. Visible Body is a great one, but it's expensive. Biodigital Human is free. And so you can click on muscles, and it'll show you all the muscles, and you can highlight them and learn about them and test yourself on them. So if you haven't done this yet for the bones, make sure you take some time to use it for the muscles. It's actually a very helpful piece of software that's free for you. Okay, well, I'm going to stop there and move on to the next set of muscles. I will see you soon.